White flag up, and they're running in the first classic of the season. Vitige from France breaks out like a rocket and is the first to show, and they're going a scorching pace here in the 2,000 guineas, and it's Vitige for France. From the other Frenchman, Monado 2, then Relkino in the cross belts is 3. After these, Lowe is well placed, as also is Gentilhomme. Wallow is lying really right up with the field at the moment, the favourite, and followed by Gwent. They've gone already the first quarter of a mile, and it's Vitige with the noseband blazing the trail for France, followed by Relkino 2 and Monado 3. The field almost splitting into two groups now. Towards the back markers in the early stages are the maiden same as Tom, together with Thieving Demon, and also towards the rear at the moment is AC Yolson and Royal Boy. But Vitige still in the lead as they near halfway in the 2,000 guineas, and with France 1 and 2, Relkino next, Wallow the favourite going strongly, back to John Penny.
Vitige continues to make it from Gwent on the far side, Relkino right up with the leaders on the near side, then comes Royal Boy. Then just in behind them on the far side comes Frankie, but it's Vitige who continues to lead from Relkino on the near side. Wallow comes up to join those two, and so they pass a 3 furlong from home marker, and it's Wallow on the near side with Relkino, and still on the far side indeed Vitige, and also making ground on the far side too is Frankie, but they pass the bushes on towards the final 2 furlongs, and it's Wallow who now takes it up from Relkino, and on the near side Sea Dive. Vitige is not done for because still well placed on the far side. They come now with a furlong and a half still to run, and it's Wallow in the lead from Vitige, Frankie on the far side, then comes Thieving Demon, that's the leading 4. They come now towards the final furlong, and it's Franco Dettori on Wallow as they come out towards the last 100 yards. Wallow's going to win this one from Vitige, and then in third place comes Thieving Demon, Patris, Frankie.
The Champion Stakes with Indian Skimmer breaking smartly, trusted partner on her inside, Galitzin right up there towards the outer with Shady Heights, and just in behind these is Lord Bud as they head up the course, and it's Indian Skimmer on the inside, Shady Heights on the outer. Between horses is Galitzin, 4 is Triptych, behind Triptych Lord Bud, and then comes Fair Judgment. They're followed by Persian Heights, and behind Persian Heights is trusted partner, and then Curio. They're nearing the top left-hand turn, and Galitzin and Brian Rouse on the inside, Shady Heights on the outer, Indian Skimmer a length off them, Lord Bud 4, Fair Judgment 5, and they're followed by Persian Heights as they go into the turn across the top of the course. Galitzin is the leader by about half a length from Shady Heights in second, a length back to Indian Skimmer the Grey, 2 lengths then to Lord Bud as they make the bend into the straight. Persian Heights going very smoothly on the outside. They're turning in now towards the straight, and as they do so, it's still Galitzin the leader from Shady Heights in second place, Indian Skimmer a couple of lengths back. And behind Indian Skimmer is Lord Bud, and they're straightening up with just over half a mile to cover. And it's Galitzin the leader with Shady Heights in second, Indian Skimmer 3. They're followed by Persian Heights on the inside is Lord Bud. Just behind these is Curio, trusted partners on the outside of Fair Judgment, and Triptych is dropped back to be last. Racing now towards the 3 marker, and it's Galitzin on the inside from Shady Heights in the noseband, Indian Skimmer, then Lord Bud. Just in behind these is Fair Judgment. They've 2.5 furlongs to race in the Phoenix Champion Stakes, and Indian Skimmer rages up on the outside to take it up. Indian Skimmer goes for home, chased by Persian Heights coming there on the outside, then Shady Heights in 3, Galitzin 4, Fair Judgment 5. Here comes Triptych with a strong run, but it's Indian Skimmer the leader as they race into the final furlong from Shady Heights on the inside, trying to rally Persian Heights 3. Triptych's coming home really well on the outside. Indian Skimmer is the leader from Shady Heights, and Triptych is bearing down on them as they race to the line. Indian Skimmer the leader, pushed out by Michael Roberts. She's going to win it. Indian Skimmer wins it for Henry Cecil. Shady Heights is second, Triptych is 3, close for 4th between Persian Heights and Lord Bud.
The new job is with trainer Henry Cecil, the master of Warren Place Stables at Newmarket and champion trainer this year for the 5th time. It means a change of location, a new challenge, and the chance to remain champion jockey for years to come. Cecil has a string of over 150 horses, hand-picked from the finest studs and the biggest sale rings around the world, with owners like Khalid Abdullah, Lord Howard de Walden, Mr. Jim Joel, Sheikh Mohammed, Stavros Niarchos, Charles St. George, and Daniel Wildenstein. I asked Cecil what attracted him to Steve Corson.
I think he's a natural rider and a nice person. I think he'd sort of make a very good stable jockey. I find he's easy to get on with, and those are the main things, I think.
If any of your owners don't want Steve, would you stand by him?
Oh, definitely. I mean, he is going to ride the horses. When I say when required, I mean, if we have a horse at 2 meetings, obviously Paul Edry will probably ride the others, but no, he will ride the horses. I mean, if there's a horse he can't get on with and he can't stand and he thinks we should have somebody else, that's another matter. But I mean, he rides the horses.
There'll be no question of any owner asking for another jockey.
No. There may be a question of them asking, but they wouldn't get one.
I'm not Lester Piggott, and I don't want to try to be. I'm going to be myself, and I think that I'm a very adequate jockey, and I feel that I can get along with the people that I'm dealing with. I'm looking forward to it as an opportunity. I'm not trying to be equal to anyone. I'm hopeful that next year the horses will be healthy and well. I know that there's a lot of well-bred horses, and the one thing about being a jockey is that experience is a very important thing. I'd love to win the Derby. I'd love to win the Arc de Triomphe. I suppose those are the two major races in Europe that any jockey would like to win. And I'd love to be champion jockey again.
Gone into the stalls, and there's Lester Piggott, 9 Derby winners on his last Derby ride, who rides theatrical, the horse nervous in the stalls, the last to go in for the ever-ready Derby. That's it, the jockeys look across, they're under orders, and they're away, and it's a pretty level break, and we expect Steve Cawthon on slip anchor to slip through into the lead, and he does just that. But Snowplant, that one stays too, and he is with him. But it's slip anchor in the lead from Snowplant in second. Then just in behind these comes Damister up on the very wide outside, tracked by Main Reach. Lester Piggott towards the rear at this stage, and so too is Shadid. Shadid last but one as they race through the first furlong. And Steve Cawthon really making this a terrific test of both stamina and pace. He leads on the favourite, Slip Anchor. From Fardanti now second, then behind these comes Surat third, next to the rail Snowplant being niggled along, Supreme Leader up on the outside, then comes Petoskey, Shadid in a good position, Law Society and Patinary getting closer, Leicester with quite a bit to do, now he's last, just preceded by Damister, but this is a blistering gallop as they come to the point at the top of the hill and head towards the halfway stage. It's Slip Anchor in the lead, from the French raider Syrah in second, then behind these comes Fardanti in third, Supreme Leader up on the outside, Lester Piggott with quite a bit to do on theatrical as they come down towards the halfway stage and they begin the descent to Tattenham Corner, and as they do so it's Slip Anchor in the lead by 4 lengths to Fardanti in second, then in third comes Sura, fourth up on the outside Supreme Leader, then Shadid, Law Society, Main Reason being scrubbed along, theatrical with quite a bit to do, and they're at the halfway stage in the ever-ready Derby, and the favourite Slip Anchor is 4 lengths clear for Steve Cawthon. The back marker is Snowplant. Petoskey comes out of the pack to throw down the challenge, but he's going to have to motor already. They're past the 5 furlong pole. Lester Piggott on the extreme left of the picture. Shadid going sweetly, the horse with the noseband, but Slip Anchor has slipped the field for Steve Cawthon. He's really blazing a trail as he turns around Tattenham Corner. This is a sparkling performance. They've got over 3 furlongs to go. We know the horse stays, and surely Steve has stolen it. They've got just over 3 to go, 1 horse in the picture, and that is Slip Anchor. Steve Cawthon reckons this horse is the best horse he's ever ridden. He could prove it here today, because Law Society's in second place, Supreme Leader is third, then comes Shadid, who's being pulled up at the rear of the field, but they've got just 2.5 to go. 2 to go. Steve looks right on Slip Anchor. This is a blistering pillar-to-post victory here. He's 8-10 lengths clear from the second horse, Law Society. Third is Supreme Leader. Theatrical hanging under pressure, staying on his Lanfranco, but he's not going to get anywhere near his stable companion. That's Slip Anchor. This is Steve Cawthon. Steve's first Derby victory, driven out to the post, staying home, coming home well. 1 horse race, and that's Slip Anchor. Slip Anchor the winner. From Law Society second, close for third between Damister, who stayed on well, and then came Supreme Leader, then Lanfranco, then Fardanti, and behind that one came Reach, then Theatrical, a disappointing run, then came Royal Harmony, and behind these came Snowplant, then came...
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.
With a favourite, everyone's saying he was such a good horse. Was there still the fear it would go wrong?
Yes, we thought a lot of him. We thought he had a tremendous chance, but I mean, the Derby, as you said, has been a complete disaster so far. Until you won a Derby, you couldn't really believe
What was the feeling in your camp the last fortnight? After his last performance, obviously, he was
very nervous. You know, something did wrong. I mean, simply great when he came to the Derby, when he broke his leg, and every day wondering whether he's going to get cast or start coughing or a sore back or a tendon.
it's a nightmare, really.
And it's a big team you run at Warren Place. Does that feeling spread right through the team?
I think so. I mean, I'd like to actually... I mean, this day, today, I mean, firstly, to the horse himself, I mean, we must congratulate him and thank him very much to my staff, Paddy, and all of Warren Place, from Paddy to Gordon the gardener. They've all helped me in tremendous ways. To Leslie Harrison and the stud groom and the staff there, and of course to Steve Cawthon, to all of them, congratulations and thank you for making it a great day.
Well, it's a great day. He seems to be a great horse, and it seems an extraordinary surge. You're just saying he got beaten first time. He still looked to an outsider as an ordinary horse. When did you really appreciate that he was a star?
Well, I always thought a lot of him before he ever ran, and Lester got off him and said, he's no good. That's true. He got off and said he's no good.
Yeah. And then through the winter, were you still believing he was a star, or hopeful?
Sorry?
During the winter, were you still thinking he would be a star, or was it just
no, not really. I mean, I thought he was a nice horse, and he's progressed so much. He's just gradually, since Lingfield, he's sort of come on so much.
I remember after Lingfield, you were saying, well, he's almost more of a St. Leger horse.
Well, I never thought of him being a Derby winner. I thought, well, it looks an easy trial. Let's have a go and see if we can make him a Group winner. But since then, he's begun to tell me something different, which I didn't know. Remember, the champion mile, and I ran him at Folkestone and Leicester, and it takes a bit of time with me for it to sink in that they are any good.
Well, it certainly sinks into the horses themselves. And finally, where do we see him again? Where does he go?
Well, I don't want to go for the Irish Derby. Probably we hope King George and the Voltage and St. Leger. Those are the sort of the programme if everything goes all right and if he comes up to it.
For all of us, Henry, many congratulations.
Well, thank everybody. Thank you.
Henry Cecil, the champion trainer.
And Flying Waiter and Prairie Snoopy going on. Prairie Snoopy, Flying Waiter, Shangamutsu, Arapahoe, Buckskin and Lamos. And it's Flying Waiter now. Prairie Snoopy nearest to us, then Shangamutsu, Arapahoe over on the far side, Buckskin and Lamos. Flying Waiter from the German challenger, Prairie Snoopy, then Shangamutsu and Arapahoe, Buckskin and Lamos as we rejoin now the grandstand cameras, and see to the left at this intersection in the lead, Flying Waiter setting a good pace to his stable companion Shangamutsu, who's tracking him. To the right is Prairie Snoopy, then comes Arapahoe, Buckskin and Lamos, and they're going a real good pace in the 1979 Ascot Gold Cup, with Flying Waiter in the lead from Prairie Snoopy on the far rail on the left, just in behind Flying Waiter, his stable companion Shangamutsu, then Arapahoe, then Buckskin, and finally Buckskin's stable companion Lamos, and they're just coming up to the winning post now on the first circuit, and it's Flying Waiter from Shangamutsu and Prairie Snoopy. Behind them, Arapahoe, Buckskin and Lamos, and this a real stamina test as they begin to swing right-handed, and they'll shortly pass under the mile-and-a-half point. Swinging right-handed now with Flying Waiter still setting a very good pace from Prairie Snoopy and Shangamutsu, matching strides. Buckskin just on the outside of Arapahoe, and very relaxed in rear is Lester Piggott on Lamos. As they run down now towards Swinley Bottom, Flying Waiter still in the lead from Prairie Snoopy and Shangamutsu, Buckskin and Arapahoe, and then Lamos. Got about a mile and a quarter to run now in the Gold Cup, and it's Flying Waiter from Prairie Snoopy and Shangamutsu, Buckskin, Arapahoe and Lamos. They're racing down towards the mile pole, and still Flying Waiter and Paul Cook taking him along, and taking him along at still a very fast gallop for 2.5 miles. Prairie Snoopy just on the far side of Shangamutsu, then Buckskin and Arapahoe, and then Lamos close. This is the mile post. They're passing now. Flying Waiter clear of Shangamutsu and Prairie Snoopy, Buckskin, Arapahoe and Lamos. And Joe Mercer asking Buckskin to get a little bit closer to them if he can. And it's Flying Waiter from Shangamutsu. Buckskin now going up on the outside of Prairie Snoopy. In fact, going up to second now. And in fact, going to challenge the leader. And now it's Flying Waiter from Buckskin in second. Then comes Shangamutsu. Lester Piggott is making his move on Lamos. They're past the 6 marker now. Still Flying Waiter from Buckskin in second. Then Lamos and Shangamuzo, Arapahoe and Prairie Snoopy, the challenger from Germany, has dropped right back to last place. They're just passing the 5 furlong marker now in the Gold Cup, and it's Flying Waiter from Buckskin. Arapahoe coming back there alongside Lamos. Shangamuzo holding his place on the inside. Prairie Snoopy almost tailed off now at this blistering gallop, and they're racing towards the home turn in the Gold Cup, and as they do so, it's Buckskin who comes now to take it up from Flying Waiter, being chased by Steve Cawthon on Arapahoe. Then comes Lester Piggott on Lamos. Then Shangamuzo is losing ground. They're turning into the home stretch now, and it's Joe Mercer on Buckskin being pressed by Steve Cawthon on Arapahoe. Then comes Lamos. They're coming down to the 2 furlong pole in the Gold Cup, and it's Buckskin being pressed by his stable companion now, Lamos. And it's Lamos now who takes it up from Buckskin. Lamos on the near side, Buckskin on the far side, the 2 stable companions. Lester Piggott bidding for his 9th Gold Cup on the near side. Joe Mercer on the far side of Buckskin. Looks as though he's accepted it. Lester is going to storm to his 9th victory in the Gold Cup. It's Lamos going away from his stable companion Buckskin as they come up towards the line. Lamos wins the 1979 Ascot Gold Cup. Buckskin is second. Third is Arapahoe. 4 is Shangamuzo, 5 is Flying Waiter, and 6 is Prairie Snoopy.
6s and Terramons creeping into the market. Opened up, 8s went to 9s, now back to 7s. 8 to 1 bar those 4, and Cacoethis I think is going to be one of the last. Let's go to Peter.
Yes, Cacoethis is the last in, that's it. All 11 installed for the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes of 1990, and they're running. Belmiz shows fast on the inside, then Asatis. Cacoethis up with the pace. In the Wings is going right up there to join them. In the Wings going on now with Old Vic on his outside, and Sapiens has gone right up to dispute the lead as well. And it's In the Wings with Sapiens on the inside. Old Vic towards the outer. Belmez and Hussian just in behind them. Then Cacoethis, who's been dropped back behind Cacoethis' Legal Case. And then comes Terriman, and then Charmer. And Sartis, unbeaten previously over this course, is the back marker at the moment, as Old Vic and Steve Cawthon are the leaders now. From on the inside, Sapiens. Towards the outside is Limeburn. Just in behind Limeburn is Belmez, and In the Wings, and then Hussian behind Hussian is Legal Case. And still Sartis the back marker, and Old Vic making it. Old Vic from Limeburn in second, Sapiens is third. Then In the Wings 4, Belmez just in behind him, and behind Belmez on his outside is Hussian. Behind Hussian then is Cacoethis, and then Terriman, and still the back marker is Asatis, with Charmer dropping back too. They're past the 6th pole, and Old Vic is still the leader from Limeburn, intended to be the pacemaker for Cacoethis in second. Sapiens is third. Then comes In the Wings on the inside with Belmez. Then Hussian making ground towards the outer. Cacoethis is getting closer now. Terriman has got a lot to do. Old Vic has a 3-length advantage now as they race to the half-mile pole. And it's Old Vic from on the inside In the Wings. Sapiens has gone third. Belmez is right there with Cacoethis improving. Rounding the home turn, it's a Sheikh Mohammed 1-2 at the moment, with Old Vic the leader from Belmez in second. Cacoethis third. Sapiens is dropping out of it. Asatis is improving fast towards the stand side, but it's Old Vic being pressed by Belmez, then Cacoethis, and then Asatis under pressure. It's Belmez and Michael Cannan who've taken it up now from Old Vic, with Cacoethis third and Asatis 4, and Asatis still improving. Belmez and Old Vic fighting it out in the Mohammed colours, with Asatis still coming there. Old Vic is fighting back, but the 3-year-old has the advantage. It's Belmez from Old Vic with Asatis third as they race into the closing stages. Old Vic is fighting back. It's going to be a photo, but Belmez has just won it from Old Vic with third Asatis and 4 Cacoethis. Behind them came In the Wings and Terriman, and behind Terriman was Charmer, and behind Charmer was Hussian, and then Sapiens and Legal Case. And last was Limeburn, but officially it was a photo. But I think there's little doubt that Belmez, the only 3-year-old in the race, number 13, owned by Sheikh Mohammed, trained by Henry Cecil and ridden by Michael Cannan, has beaten number 10, Old Vic, owned by Sheikh Mohammed, trained by Henry Cecil and ridden by Steve Cawthon. So a scintillating 1-2 for Henry Cecil and a 3-4 for Guy Harwood, with Asatis third and Kakoethes fourth.
The greatest big race jockey in Europe, Michael Kinan's becoming. He's fallen in for yet another major success. He comes to take it up off the stable companion Old Vic early in the straight, and although Belmez started to hang a little bit to the left, Michael straightened him out. There he's hanging to the left again. Steve Corton and Old Vic have never given up. They've rallied back, and look at Asatis back in third. His first defeat at Ascot, but what a glorious defeat.
I don't think I've ever seen Steve Corton put more in a finish, because that's his stable companion just on his outside. He could have ridden this, don't forget. He chose Old Vic. Well, both these horses have given all. I thought for a moment Old Vic was going to hang on, but don't forget he's been off the racecourse for quite a long time. He's only had the one run this year, but to take nothing away from Belmez, perhaps the best 3-year-old in Europe, or he's asked after that crown later on this season.
Now what a triumph this is for Henry Cecil. 1-2, two horses that he had to beg the owner to run. Belmez, as you can see, not by any means running on rails. And Old Vic, he's already getting very, very tired indeed. He's wandering under Steve Corton. But look at the drive of Michael Kinan as he's pulled his whip through to his left hand there. Steve Corton, as Jimmy said, riding the strongest finish imaginable. The Sheikh Mohammed's first and second look back to In the Wings, who's fifth.
So Belmez by El Gran Senor, out of Grace Note by Topville, becomes the 21st 3-year-old to win the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes. Julius Cecil there congratulating him, Henry Cecil congratulating him, Michael Kinan there, the amazingly successful big race rider who of course achieved an all-time.
Cameron, how do you actually get into a horse's head to find out exactly how you're going to bring out the
well, you know, if you watch a horse, you can tell whether he's sort of enjoying things. You know, if you start pushing, you'll find he's sort of jibby, or he's sweating, or he's not relaxed. You know? Or he's trying to get things over too quickly. You know? And he starts hitting himself behind and everything because he's trying to get the cantle to gallop over too quickly, because I mean, he's weak and it's frightening. You know? And I think that you know, horses have got to be relaxed, you know? and be able to pick them up and enjoy themselves. I mean, a horse that's running too free because it's scared and it falls in a heap. You know?
The horses we saw this morning were only cantering, but when you're working horses, how do you like to work them?
Well, this morning, I mean, we just had an easy day. We worked yesterday in the hole, and so we just did a sort of couple of steady canters or one steady canter. When I work my horse, I usually sort of work them in probably fours, 3 or 4s, one behind the other. So if we're working a mile, we'd probably work one behind the other for 5.5 furlongs, yeah? And then they'll draw up in a line, and you're going probably 3 parts speed, yeah? And in the last furlong and a half, once they're drawn up, then they'll accelerate together and help each other. Yeah? I like to see them when they actually finish together, all in a line. Yeah? So I feel I can still tell which is going the best. Yeah? And don't forget, when you're working, you're probably working horses a much shorter distance you're going to run them. Yeah? I mean, a horse stays or he doesn't stay. So the main thing is to try and work him the shorter distance. I feel, this is my sort of theory, that you work him a shorter distance and give him time to go through his gears. So in the last furlong he's ready motoring. Yeah? So you've got an Ascot go a couple horses, you can work him a mile and a quarter. He's either going to stay or he isn't. I mean, you can't make him stay. Yeah? He's either bred to stay or he isn't. So you know, you'd like to see him really accelerating that in the last furlong and a half and working over a shorter distance. I mean, anything, if you're working a long distance, can stay, plod around Royal Ascot. I mean, the horse that wins the race is the horse that finds that sort of 5th gear like a Ferrari, not something that goes wrong like a Austin A10.
Donegal Prince, Ardros Monsbeau, then Halsbury, Double Florin, and Popsy's Joy. Breasting this rise, Donegal Prince from Monsbeau, Ardros quite close, and then Double Florin on the outside of Halsbury and Popsy's Joy. And not a lot between these sextet now as they begin the run down hill towards the half-mile pole in the Goodwood Cup. Donegal Prince from Monsbeau, Ardros, Double Florin, Halsbury and Popsy's Joy. And just coming to the 4-furlong marker now. Donegal Prince from Monsbeau, Ardros, Popsy's Joy coming there quite strongly now towards the outside of Paul Cook as they come down towards the 3-furlong marker. Halsbury improving over on the far rail. And Ardros coming between Halsbury and Donegal Prince. Monsbeau, Popsy's Joy on the far side. Double Florin not out of it, but Lester Piggott holding a double handful as they race past the 2-furlong pole. And it's Ardros on the far side, Popsy's Joy on the near side, between horses Donegal Prince, but Ardros is quickening, and it's Ardros, Lester Piggott as they enter the final furlong now. From Donegal Prince and Popsy's Joy, racing into the closing stages, and Ardros winning very cheekily indeed from Donegal Prince in second. And Ardros has won the Goodwood Cup from Donegal Prince. Halsbury's third and 4, Popsy's Joy, 5 Double Florin, and 6th and last was Monsbeau. And so the result of the 1981 Goodwood Cup, first number 1, Ardros, owned by Mr. Charles St. George, trained by Henry Cecil and ridden by Lester Piggott. Jockeys. Mile and a quarter, and they're away. And who's going to make it? Nobody very anxious to make it, and so London News is going on. London News, the South African hope, goes on from Al Harth on the near side and then even top. Then comes Bos Rasham and Balalaika and Ashani as the back marker. And going up on the outside of London News is Al Harth to take it up. Al Harth takes it up clearly now from London News. And then even top and a little gap to Bos Rasham, and it looks as though Frank Editori's tactics here on Al Harth are to make this a strongish pace now. He's got even top coming up to nearly join him, with London News back in third and 4 Bos Rasham, then 5 and 6 of Balalaika and Ashani. They're racing towards the 5 pole already, and even top on the outside of Al Harth. Little gap then to London News. Then Kieran Fallon on this odds-on favourite, Bos Rasham, just niggling along now, niggling at her to get a little bit closer to them as they pass the half-mile marker, racing towards the home straight, and it's even top on the outside of Al Harth, and Bos Rasham now moving up on the outside of London News. They're into the straight. Al Harth and even top with Bos Rasham coming there very strongly now. Bos Rasham coming to mow them down, and whoever's laid 18,000 to 8 on this filly has no worries whatsoever. She's striding into the final furlong to win this with consummate ease. Bos Rasham getting a cheer from the crowd for her immense ability. She strides to the line, 5, 6, 7, 8, make it 10 if you like, lengths clear of, in second place, Al Harth, with a gallant South African London News securing third prize.
And looking for Old Vic, he's third from the right of the picture in the white sleeve jacket. El Mayor taking quite a keen hold, and just in behind these comes Dancehall, Mizardon held up. And it's Atacad now that's come through to take up the running. Atacad in the lead, Old Vic stretching well on the wide outside, Rainovic is close in behind them in third, El Mayor racing well is 4, then Galetto the favourite in the yellow sleeve jacket tracks that in 5, Louis Seif 6, followed by Mizardon, but it's Old Vic, Steve Cawthon. He knows the horse stays and he's making a true test of stamina. He leads by about a length and a half. Old Vic stretching up. Atacad is second, El Mayor third, Rainovic 4, Mizardon 5, Galetto on the outside 6, on the wide outside of Louis Seif for racing 7. Then comes Mizardon, followed by Norberto, and at this stage Sovereign Water is last and trailing the field by some 3 to 4 lengths. Dancehall last but 2, that's in the green jacket, bright red cap. But it's Old Vic leading through the first half mile. Old Vic setting the pace to Atacad in second. Then racing third on the wide outside is El Mayor, on the outside of Pat Edery on Mizzen. Then comes Rainer Bick and Louis Cifre. Galetto is racing wide, just in the picture in the yellow jacket, yellow sleeve jacket. Louis C follows that. Then Norberto and Edinburgh and Dancehall, and the rank outsider Ars Blanc is last but one. And there's that most magnificent shadow. So they're coming down towards the halfway stage in this Prix de Jockey Club Lancia. And up front it's Old Vic leading, stretching them by a length over Atticad racing second. El Mayor running a big race in third. They swing right-handed. And now it's a stiff uphill climb into the home stretch. Mizzen creeps through into fourth place, but it's Old Vic leading by a length and a half. El Mayor is in second place at this stage. Atticad races third. Then behind these comes Mizzen. Galetto poised on the outside. Louis Cifre in behind them. Freddie Head rides up one. He's ridden 4 Derby winners. The one that's tailed off is Ars Blanc, but they're in line for home, and Steve Cawthon set sail. He commits on Old Vic. That's the chasing group. Pat Edery in pursuit on Mizzen. Then comes El Mayor in the yellow jacket third. And next to the rails, Rainy Bick is fourth, but they've got 2 furlongs left to go in the Prix du Jockey Club Lancia. And you can start raising your hats, because Old Vic is 5 clear for Steve Cawthon. And in second place, Dancehall now finishing well. A furlong and a half to go, but they've got it all on to catch Old Vic, who's clear of Dancehall in second place. Galetto is third. And this is Old Vic striding up to the line, giving Steve Cawthon his first French derby, our first French derby. And at the line, Old Vic, an impressive winner. Dancehall is second, Galetto is third, Norberto is 4. Then came Louis Cifre in 5, and behind that one Sovereign Water, followed by Mizzen and Rainy Bick, and then El Mayor, Edinburgh, Atticard, and tailed off last of all was the rank outside number 3, Ars Blanc. But what a performance by Old Vic in the colours of Sheikh Mohammed, trained at Newmarket. Hooray, hooray by Henry Cecil, and ridden superbly by Steve Cawthon from the front, from the pace. Tremendous performance indeed.
Yeah, I did. From the wrong side.
Where's that tie? Come on, you want to find that tie for
Well,
me?
we'll just see if we can find it, Willie.
Find that tie.
It's not in that lot, I don't think. Right? It's the Irish Derby, isn't it?
Yeah, the Irish Derby tie.
What about that one?
Ah, there you are. That's it. That's the Irish Derby. You won the Irish...
My ties are very precious to me. I think you'd look very smart in...
Yeah, in what? No. These are all too flamboyant for me. Too flamboyant.
What about that one? That's a Pucci tie.
Pucci?
Pucci. That's a smart tie.
And you don't have Hermes or...
Yeah, I got a lot of...
Hermes?
I've got a lot of Hermes.
Gucci?
The amount of money I've wasted on ties is ridiculous.
No, that's a nice tie as well.
I could
Hermes,
educate a
Gucci,
child.
Hermes.
They're there.
So you got a tie for Ascot then? You're okay?
I'm alright, I'm not going to buy any more. Or a few of them anyway.
Pink?
Pink waistcoat.
Oh, that's a smart one.
That's a very smart one. Velvet with silk drops on it.
Yeah, black and navy blue.
There are the hearts, yeah, being romantic.
It's not Feb. This is June 13th, not Feb.
I can't. Yeah, not February 14th. No, but Natty likes this one. She helped me choose it.
I've seen that one. Yeah, that's you've used that.
Buttons.
Yeah, it's a very smart one.
There's one with.
Ah, that's nice. Horse's heads. That is nice.
But I probably wear a grey one most of the time and just try and not be too sort of
flamboyant.
Much of a clown.
But you wouldn't be flamboyant, will you? How many
shoes have I got?
Shoes.
I don't know.
Look at all these shoes you have. You like brown suede then?
Yep. But all it glitters isn't gold.
For the 208th Derby, under orders, and they're away in a pretty level break too. With through the first furlong up on the very wide outside, Al Wasby showing very good pace. A little bit slowly away was Sajid, and that's 3 or 4 lengths dropped off the pace, and now Reference Point has come through to take it up. And it's Reference Point and Legal Bid and Water Boatman chased up on the inside, tracked by Sir Harry Lewis. That's on the right of the picture. On the extreme right is Love the Groom. The French raider Sajid is some way adrift, and they go up the hill on the far side of the track. And it's Water Boatman just disputing it with Reference Point in second. Al Wasby on the wide outside. Then just in behind these comes Ascot Knight and Ibn Bay, and Legal Bid is handy, and Angara Abyss is handy, and Love the Groom is handy, and Water Boatman was on the outside just checking Love the Groom and Sir Harry Lewis there. But the favourite has it as they head with a mile to go. It's Reference Point in the lead. Reference Point showing the way to Ibn Bay. Then comes Ascot Knight on the outside, and then Legal Bid, then Ajdal. With just in behind these comes Water Boatman. Sajid is still some little way adrift, and the other French raider is mid-division as they begin the descent now to Tattenham Corner. And they've got 7 furlongs left to go. Reference Point has it from Ibn Bay in second, then Ascot Knight on the outside, and then Legal Bid and Water Boatman, then Ajdal and Most Welcome, the horse with the noseband, on the outside of the pack. Behind these comes Sir Harry Lewis and Love the Groom, then Percy Fleur and Gulf King, entitled mid-division, and they're well past halfway, and Sajid is still well in arrears. 5 to go, the favourite Reference Point out in front from Ascot Knight in second and Most Welcome third, and Ibn Bay 4, and Legal Bid looks for room, and Bellotto looks for room at the rear of the field, and they begin the descent to Tattenham Corner, and it's Reference Point in the lead. Reference Point and Steve Cawthon out in the lead from Ascot Knight second, then in third is Most Welcome and Ibn Bay, then Ajdal next to the rails. Legal Bid comes with the run, Sir Harry Lewis comes with the run, Bellotto tries to make ground on the left of the picture, Sadid starts to pick up ground, also looking for room is Groom Dancer, and they've just over 2 furlongs to go, and Reference Point has it from Ascot Knight, then comes Most Welcome and Sir Harry Lewis. Bellotto makes good ground on the outside, Entitled coming with a run, they've got a furlong and a half to go, and the favourite has it, but only just, as Most Welcome throws down a big challenge. Reference Point of the yellow, Most Welcome with a noseband, Bellotto starts to pick up ground in the white sleeves, but Reference Point holds on. Reference Point when he battles, Most Welcome second, Bellotto is third, he has to be straightened down close home, but the favourite wins. Reference Point a photo for second, Most Welcome and Bellotto. Then came Sir Harry Lewis, Entitled and Mountain Kingdom, then Sadid and Groom Dancer, disappointing runs, then Ajdal and Percy Fleur, and behind these Ascot Knight, Love the Groom, Ibn Bay, then Gulf King, and the back marker last of all was Romantic Prince. And so on the 6-4 favourite, Steve Cawthon has won his second derby on number 16, Reference Point, owned by Mr. Lewis Freedman, bred by him at the Cliveden Stud, ridden by Steve Cawthon, Steve's second derby winner, and this one trained, as his first one was, by Henry Cecil at Newmarket, and ridden by Steve in similar front-running fashion. Officially, it's a photo for second place between number 13, which is Most Welcome, ridden by Paul Edery, and number 5, Bellotto, ridden by his brother Pat. They're in a photo for second.
And Oso Sharp, the last one to be installed. They're under starters' orders and they're on their way, and as they start to settle down through the early stages, Alba Hathry, one of the first to go on, but Bella Calora now takes over. So Bella Calora now the leader, being tracked then by, on the near side, Cashew Lagoon, then just in behind them, then comes Stella Grand. Stella Grand is then followed by Case in Pataga, Oso Sharp, and toward the rear of the field races Merle and the back marker Defana. Running now towards the 6 furlong from home marker, Bella Calora, still the leader from Stella Grand. Then right up with the pace to his Cashew Lagoon, just in behind them Case and Patter. Then comes Oso Sharp. They're running now towards the 5 marker, Bella Calora, the Scottish colours on the far side. And on well on turns that one, Stella Grand. Then on the near side, Cashew Lagoon. Just in behind them comes Case in Pataga. And with that order, back to Graham.
New tactics for Bella Calora, the leader from Alba Hathry with a noseband, Case in Pataga just in behind them, Stella Grand in the blue jacket, Ella Lang behind that one. Then comes Glory of Hero, and the favourite Oso Sharp with the jockey with the white sleeves makes ground, but so too does Triptych in the pale blue jacket. Behind these comes Villicaya. They've got just 2.5 furlongs left to race in the General Accident 1,000 guineas, and a wide open race too, with Triptych coming down on the very wide outside of Oso Sharp, with up on the inside Alba Hathry going for home, so too Bella Calora, more in the tank yet. They've got 4 furlong and a half to go, and Bella Calora regains the lead next to the rails from Alba Hathry in second place. Oso Sharp is third. Villicaya is flying at the finish with a white face on the very wide outside, but inside the final furlong, Alba Hathry and Bella Calora, very little to choose between the two, Lester Pickett and Tony Murray. Bella Calora and Alba Hathry, it's a ding-dong battle up towards the line, a photo finish, Alba Hathry and Bella Calora, then Oso Sharp and Villicaya, and then came behind these charge along, in fact the back marker last of all was Cashew Lagoon, and so the outcome of this, the General Accident 1,000 guineas, a Group 1 race. It's gone to a photo between Lester Piggott on Bella Calora, number 4, owned by Helena Springfield Limited, trained here at Newmarket by Michael Stout, and ridden by Lester Piggott. It's very, very close indeed, and there is the freeze frame, and I'm not so sure that Oso Sharp isn't up there too. What a tremendous blitzing finish she's run.
all installed under orders and away. Foberos breaks first, Radetzky faster still, and Bolide faster than the 3, than the 2, and Bolide is going on in his blinkers. Willie Carson trying to win this for the 5th time in 6 years. Bolide is clear of Radetzky, Foberos and Chris in 4th, then Jellaby, then comes Baptism and finally Skyliner, and it's Bolide from Radetzky. Chris making ground on the outside. Foberos back in 4th now. 5 is Baptism, 6 and 7 are Jellaby and Skyliner, and it's Bolide from Radetzky on the inside of Chris. Behind Chris is Foberos, then Baptism. They're past the 5 marker, then Jellaby, then Skyliner. They're going a pretty good pace too, and it's Bolide in the lead from Radetzky on the inside of Chris. Then comes a little gap to Foberos, and then Baptism, and then Jellaby, and on the outside of Jellaby is Skyliner, and they're racing to the home term already in the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes, and it's Bolide in the lead from Chris in 2nd place. Then comes Radetzky. Behind Radetzky is Foberos. Baptism making little ground towards the outside now around the turn. Jellaby on the inner, Skyliner still last, and into the home straight, and Joe Mercer looks over his left shoulder to see where the dangers are. He's got Bolide beat already, and Chris storms to the front at the 2 furlong pole, and it's Chris and Joe Mercer now from Foberos and Lester Piggott on Baptism as they race down to the furlong pole in the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes, and it's Chris in the lead, clear of Foberos in 2nd, then Baptism and Radetzky and Bolide, and Chris lengthening his stride and getting a great reception from the crowd already. Here comes another one for Joe Mercer. Chris 6 turning his winning sequence, going to win it in tremendous style, strides up to the line, 4 to 5 lengths clear. Chris wins the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes, and Foberos is 2nd and Jellaby 3rd. Radetzky and Baptism are next, followed by Bolide and then Skyliner, and so the result of the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes. First, number 3, Chris, owned by Lord Howard of Walden, trained by Henry Cecil and ridden by Joe.
I asked him once, what do you think really clicked you out of it? And he said he saw a Newmarket trainer coming towards him with one of that trainer's owners, and as they walked by, the trainer said to his owner, "That's Henry Cecil. He should have given up years ago." And Henry heard it, and it just...
He's the pacemaker for Frankel, and Frankel right in his slipstream there in the pink cap in about 4th position. Going into 2nd in the early stages is Joseph O'Brien on Acceleration. So on settling down, and it's Bullet Train who shows the way from Helmet and Acceleration, and a half length away Frankel, who's smothered up in the centre. 3 parts away then Worthad. Further back in the field then the black cap of Side Glance. They're followed next by Premier Loco and Red Jazz, and right out the back is Windsor Palace. In company there with Strong Suit, who's 2nd last, in Indomito as last, as they race up towards halfway in the Queen Anne. And it's Bullet Train taking them along at a good gallop. From in 2nd, Helmet on the near side. Over on the far side in 3rd, then the purple jacket of Joseph O'Brien on Acceleration. Then in the centre is Frankel, and now Quealy is giving him a bit more rein as he moves up now with 3 furlongs left to travel. He says, go on Frankel. Frankel races now to a narrow lead. Acceleration trying to go with him. The old rival, they've got 2 furlongs left to go in the Queen Anne. And now he starts to shake the reins at Frankel. He gets an immediate response. The champion starts to draw away. He's gone 3 lengths in front. Acceleration can find no more. And this is a procession. It's now Frankel who's drawing away. What a performance. The superb, the spectacular Frankel. 11 out of 11. And in a zone of his own. It's Frankel who wins it by 8 lengths. Acceleration gets 2nd. In 3rd then is Side.
He's touched so many people's lives, and there's kids who follow him, and there's You know, he means so much to a lot of people.
From a possibility that the greatest thing that's ever trod on the turf is going to be seen for the last time.
Frankel's acceleration is instant. Can Cadford Cliffs, he's drifting left, reeling his rival. No!
It's the best I've ever had. The best I've ever seen. I'll be very surprised. It's never been better.
The pushes Frankel, he's 15 lengths clear. He's pulverised him in the Guineas.
Big responsibility on Frankel. We're racing in the Royal Lodge. Out of the field, the entire field in front of him now, and he makes his move, and that's a lightning move too. By golly, he looks a champion. It's Frankel by 10 lengths. On the outside, Zoffany finishing fast, followed by Acceleration. It's Frankel now. He's starting to paddle. He's going up and down in the one spot, but he's held on. Frankel has won it.
Develops Frankel, breezes up on the near side with Queenie sitting motionless, and here he goes down to the final two into unknown territory. Perfect mix of poetry and destruction, this glory of rhythm, power and majesty, the undisputed champion of the world.
Will this be the ultimate? That's it, they're off and running in the Kimco Champion Stakes.
Sir Henry Cecil will be remembered as one of the great names of the turf. The scale of his achievements a fitting monument to his status within the sport. 10 times a champion trainer, 25 British Classic victories, a staggering 73 Royal Ascot triumphs. He will be remembered too as a very human figure, shy, playful.
I'm delighted for them and delighted for myself, really.
Eccentric, enigmatic, intriguing, frustrating, phenomenal. A flawed genius. Born in January 1943, by just 10 minutes the elder brother to twin David, Cecil described himself in a recent interview as a very late maturing and backward sort. Stupid as a child. First one from my prep school ever to fail common entrance to Eton.
David and myself, my twin brother, we were first to fail our common entrance from Sunnydale, which is an Eton prep school, to Eton. And so we went to a public school. Luckily we got into it because my stepfather's brother was a governor. So I wasn't very qualified to do anything, really.
Self-deprecation and wit, stocks in trade of the Cecil demeanour, could never disguise, though, a powerful self-belief. In 1969, aged just 26, he took out his licence as a trainer and won the Eclipse the same year. The first classic success came courtesy of Cluna in the Irish 1,000 Guineas of 1973. In 1976, Cecil took over the running of Warren Place in Newmarket and embarked upon a golden period. 3 more 1,000 Guineas heroines were welcomed back to that hallowed yard. 2 more 2,000 Guineas wins came before the first of 4 Derby winners, with Slip Anchor taking the Epsom Classic in 1985. The world's most powerful owner-breeders beat a path to the great trainer's door. The yard was home at any one time to up to 200 of the bluest-blooded thoroughbreds. But Cecil was also revered by ordinary racegoers and betting shop punters. Such was the consistency of the winner-producing machine that he had assembled. And such was the winning, sometimes winsome charm of this strange, dandyish figure who snubbed the trainer's dress code of trilby hat and sensible brogues in favour of cashmere and silk. Cecil was the biggest of the big guns, firing salvos that included some of the best of the best. Oh so sharp, Diminuendo, and Bosra Sham.
It's another brilliant display here by Henry Cecil's Bosra Sham.
Wallow, Ardros, and Reference Point.
Reference Point is holding a ball and is going to win it. The Derby winners against the King George and the Elizabeth Diamond Stakes. Reference Point has won.
Commander-in-Chief and Old Vic.
And Old Vic is going to win it smoothly at the line. Old Vic is the winner. Observation post second, Ilganiski third.
But as the century turned, so too did the trainer's fortunes, viciously.
Yeah, when things are going well, it's fine, but when things aren't, I mean, yeah, the support is not always there, yeah? And maybe I deserved it. I got very depressed and everything, and my brother and everything, and financially I had lots of different problems.
In 2000, his second wife parted publicly, and his twin brother David died. A barren spell stretching over 75 long months between 2000 and 2006 without a single Group 1 success saw the yard dwindle to barely 50 horses. On Newmarket Heath, talk was of how the mighty were fallen, and even of how the great man should have retired long ago. Cecil would later admit how much those dark days hurt him, how hard he found the lean years, how he never took to life as a has-been. The genius that burned so brightly refused to be dimmed. First came an Oaks success in 2007, and with that came a wave of genuine and heartfelt public warmth. Always respected, the resurgent Warren Place maestro was now much loved. And few honours could have been as popular as the one that saw Sir Henry arise in 2011. How fitting, then, that at the end of a life lived so vividly and often in the shadow of such great sadness, that an equine enigma would emerge.
Lights up!
And find its destiny fulfilled in the hands of this most gifted of handlers.
The champion of the world, Frankel in majestic form by 8 or 9 in the Queen Anne.
A talent so rare and so precious, so fragile and so flawed, that only its equal could be its master. In Frankel, Cecil has fashioned his lasting epitaph, a jewel fit to adorn one of the richest crowns the sport has ever fashioned.